When was the last time you made a decision? I am not referring to basic decisions such as what to eat or what to do on a Saturday night. I am talking about life-changing decisions, the type of decisions that can easily reroute your entire existence. When was the last time? How did you go about making that decision? Was it hard or relatively easy? Looking back, was it your best decision or do you have lingering regrets? I've gone back and forth for the past month trying to decide on a life-changing decision looming at the end of the year. One day I would think I knew what I needed to choose. The next day I would question it and entertain an alternative. I am not used to this wishy-washiness. The goal-oriented person I am needs a purpose, something to work towards. It is unsettling otherwise. So I knew something deeper was going on with me. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know how journaling is my go-to processing tool. Well, here is what I have realized when it comes to making life-changing decisions. I want to share my insights with you, hoping you can learn from them, or perhaps give me some tips I need to consider in the future. Hi lovely people, welcome to my channel. My name is Layla. On this channel, I love to talk about inner work, personal development, and anything that can make us progress. Deciding what you want and why is the first crucial step. Then make an energetic decision to pursue that goal or make that dream come true. An energetic decision, for those of you that don't know, is a decision driven by passion or purpose. It involves committing wholeheartedly to a course of action and approaching it with determination. Such decisions are fueled by inner drive. It is the kind of decision nothing can deter you from. But what happens when you cannot even take that first step? What happens when you have a desire in your heart, but changed circumstances, fear of failure, limited resources, self-doubt, or societal expectations disrupt your initial intention, raise internal doubts, and undermine your confidence? What should you do? Should you forget about your desire? It is 2024, guys. Wouldn't it be nice if things were easy? Wouldn't it be nice if our lives flowed in divine alignment? We should go after what we want unapologetically, but we are still humans and we have limitations we need to work around. So before you give up, I would say to run your desire through a series of tests. They aren't revolutionary, nor did I invent them. Those tests are based on knowledge and insights I have accumulated through experiences and reading tons of books. It is a process I just put together while journaling on my own decision, and it was super helpful. So let's get started, shall we? One reason you might have a hard time making a decision is the plethora of options available to you. Decisions are a breeze when things are crystal clear, with one option shining as the right path and the other option clearly a dead end. However, when faced with a multitude of options or murky situations, decision-making becomes a labyrinth of complexity. There is a concept called the paradox of choice, introduced by a psychologist called Mr. Schwartz, and he has this book called The Paradox of Choice, Why More is Less. And basically the idea of the book is that while having many options may seem beneficial, it can lead to negative consequences such as anxiety, indecision, and dissatisfaction. Essentially, while we might think having lots of options is good, it can lead to anxiety over making the perfect choice, and even after we decide, we might feel regret, wondering if another option would have been better. So having fewer options can sometimes make us happier because it simplifies our decision making and help us feel more confident. When I made the energetic decision to move to Korea, it was easy for me in the sense that I only had two choices: risk it all and come to Korea to make my dream come true, or stay in Boston with lingering what if and potential regrets for the rest of my life. In the first quarter of this year, the opportunity to make a decision regarding the direction of my life next year came up, and it wasn't easy to ponder because life presented me with three different paths ahead, all widely different with their benefits and drawbacks. So for the first time in my life, I didn't know for sure with 100% confidence which path was the best. Wanting to end the back and forth and mental exhaustion of thinking about my options, I put them through my comparative test. Let's start with the headspace version of this test. It is pretty simple. So you write down each option and put 2 columns underneath them. One column, you would list all the reasons you should pick that option. In the opposite column, you add why you should not pick that option. In this exercise, I want you to only focus on logical facts and assumptions, positive or negative. Something that would fall under logical facts could be, I don't know, choosing this option will force me to quit my current job, or choosing this option will allow me to live in the same city as the person I love. Something that would fall under assumptions could be, choosing this option will allow me to make more money per month. That is a positive assumption, right? Or choosing this option will prevent me from having more time for my hobbies. That is a negative assumption. This first step should give you a good visual of what awaits you, but this is where you need to be very careful. Some columns might be fuller than others. At this stage, a clear choice might emerge, or maybe not, but before you scream victory and are quick to pick the option with the least cons and more pros, I would encourage you to move on to the second part of the test, the heart space version of it. Life has taught me a few things. One is that challenges are not problems, and the other is that comfort does not allow expansion. So let me repeat that. Challenges are not problems, and comfort does not allow expansion. With the heart space test, we will dig deeper, not just scratch the surface. When evaluating an option with numerous advantages, it is crucial to delve deeper into what these benefits truly represent. This means looking at them through the lens of your heart and assessing whether they align with your value. Ask yourself these questions. Do these positive aspects merely keep me in my comfort zone? Do they genuinely contribute to my personal growth? Are they playing it safe? Are they pushing me to expand and explore new challenges? Here is an illustration of the deception that you might want to look after. Let's say, for example, as an option, high paying job, nice apartment in the city, a great group of friends. Logic will have you pick this option right away, but deep down, you hate the job and the fast-paced city life. Your heart knows that. Would this still be considered the right choice to pursue? This is a typical example of why you need to dig further. This introspective approach helps you ensure that the positives are not just appealing on the surface, but are also meaningful and supportive of your long-term aspirations and emotional well-being. That's when knowing your values becomes very, very important. I made videos about values I recommend you watch. I will put the link in the description box. Now, let's move on to the other side of things. When evaluating an option with numerous disadvantages, it is also crucial to delve deeper into what these drawbacks truly represent. Ask yourself these questions. Are these drawbacks problems? Are they just temporary challenges, things within my power to change or influence over time? As I mentioned earlier, problems are not challenges. For example, a problem is being unable to visit Korea as an African because you need an invitation letter for your visa and no one in Seoul can write one for you. On the other hand, a challenge is having to save enough money to buy your plane ticket. So these two examples illustrate the potential deception you might want to look out for. If the drawback is a problem you cannot fix or will have difficulty fixing, then fine, you can let go of that option, you can let it go. But if the drawback is a challenge, then there is no reason why you wouldn't rise to meet it. The value or worth of a path is often highlighted by the challenges encountered and overcome along the way. Maybe it's the stoic in me, but I've come to believe that the obstacle is the way. So if an option has a long list of drawbacks, don't give up right away. Understanding the true nature of each negative factor will help you distinguish between challenges and problems. Then get some insight into, whether you have what it takes to overcome the challenge. Check if overcoming those challenges matches with your value. If yes, go ahead. If not, then don't bother. Before moving to Korea, I had two options and did the comparative test I just explained, right? So the option that passed the headspace version of the test was staying in Boston. It has the most pros: a stable job, a great apartment in an amazing gated community, my siblings around, etc. But deep down, I yearn for more. Although the option of moving to Korea had the most cons, I quickly understood that these were challenges I could overcome, not problems to stop me. I was ready to do the work because I felt Korea with its challenges was the next level for me, which brings me to test number 3. Does your desire come from divine inspiration? I know it is a weird question, but bear with me. What is divine inspiration, you might ask? Well, for me, divine inspiration is inner guidance, wisdom, knowledge received from a divine source. Maybe you were doing something, seeing something, experiencing something, then all of a sudden this idea, this inspiration that seems to come from a transcendent source rather than through conscious effort overcomes you. A desire appears in your heart and you don't know how to explain it to others. It might not make sense, but now you believe you are meant to pursue that thing. The most powerful and vivid time such divine inspiration happened to me was when I visited Korea for the second time and decided it needed to be home one way or another. I had a similar experience happen to me this year, but it wasn't as powerful, so I would just call it a divine whisper. If your desire comes to you that way, trust it. It is most likely the option you might want to pursue despite what the current circumstances might be. Another way to confirm divine inspiration is to look for synchronicities and serendipitous moments. So synchronicities and serendipitous moments refer to experiences where events align in a meaningful and beneficial way, often perceived as too coincidental to be merely by chance. Let's say, for example, you desire to invest in a property in a specific neighborhood because it has everything you want in terms of lifestyle, safety, etc. But you are currently hesitating, weighing your options. Then, all of a sudden, a property matching your budget suddenly becomes available in the area. That's your sign from God to go for it. Let's say another example, you've always felt like opening a certain type of business, but were hesitating, weighing your options. One day, you go on a cruise vacation and you befriend a couple. It turns out they work in the industry you are interested in and are willing to help you. What are the odds, right? So that is a sign to go for it. And it doesn't have to be a big sign either. It could be a simple sign on a billboard, a YouTube video that pops out of nowhere, money manifesting out of nowhere, etc. Ask God for signs pointing you in the right direction and then pay attention. You will see it. Using intuition is a valuable skill, especially when making complex decisions or lacking complete information. Building trust in our intuition is a process that requires patience, attentiveness, and lots of practice. As we grow more attuned to our intuitive senses, we'll likely be more confident in following them. Unfortunately, many of us don't know how to cultivate and trust our intuition. There are many ways to develop intuition, but this is not the focus of this video. I want to mention intuition in this decision-making process because we are often guided by fear. Fear makes us choose things that are not necessarily the best option. You are bound to be fearful when you get outside your comfort zone. It is inevitable. So, how do you know if the fear you are experiencing in your body sending you a red notice asking you not to proceed, or if it is just your body being uncomfortable at the notion of you stepping outside your comfort zone? I am going to teach you a very simple yet powerful way to start using your intuition today. First, you need to relax and find a quiet place where you will have ample time to contemplate. Intuition often speaks in a very soft voice that can be drowned out by noise and activities. Second, you need to acknowledge the existence of your intuition and decide to trust it. Third, you must forget about your brain, stop overthinking, and allow your subconscious to take over. Fourth, you will do a quick breathing exercise. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. I recommend you to watch a Wim Hof video. I am going to put the link in the description box. The video is about 15 minutes, very helpful, so use that for your breathing exercise. Then the fun part can begin. For each option, you will sit down and envision yourself living out the result of your choice. Don't think about when or how you got the desire to come through. Just picture yourself living out the situation and pay close attention to your emotion. How do you feel? If a feeling of expansion and excitement accompanies the apprehension, there is a chance the fear you feel is due to your having to leave your comfort zone. If, on the contrary, your apprehension is accompanied by a feeling of anxiety coupled with contraction, then your body is most likely indicating that this option is not the right one for you. I did a lot of visualization before moving to Korea. I would sit down, play street noise in the background, and picture my life in Seoul. Those moments were delightful. It expanded and got me super excited with anticipation. I knew about all the challenges, but it didn't matter to me because my intuition was on board. At the same time, when I sat down to think about my life in Boston, nothing inspiring came to me. I felt contracted, drifting, like I was limiting my potential. Yes, I could have dramatically transformed my life in Boston, which I actually started doing until COVID came, and waited to observe the outcomes, but the prospect of remaining in Boston to witness the results lacked inspiration, joy, and excitement. The final test might be to consider this question: do you trust God? I'm confident in my ability to influence my destiny. I also see the value in seeking support and assistance from people when necessary. I also firmly believe God plays a significant role in our earthly experiences, and it would be unwise not to trust in God and seek guidance when needed. I've learned throughout the years that God knows best and He knows the how of everything. All I need to focus on is the what and the why. The way to make it happen will be revealed to me as long as I keep taking actions aligned with what I wish to manifest. The law of attraction, divine alignment, prayers, etc., whatever it is, focus on those as well. If you look at your option and trust that God will assist you, who can stop you? Honestly, when I decided to move here, I only trusted myself to make things happen. The joke. But the first 2 years in this country showed me how powerful getting help from people is, and most importantly, how powerful God can be when He sees how sincere and earnest you are about your decision. The divine assistance, the things just falling into place for me in ways I would never have imagined, still blows my mind today. Everything was intentionally planted from the very beginning, and I had no idea. 70% of the blessings I received are linked to people, situations I encountered when I first visited the country in 2015. Life gets to be beautiful and easy. Let's go for what we want. I hope you like this video. If you think it is helpful, let me know and I will find a name for this decision-making process I put together. But more seriously, if there is something that you want to go for but hesitate, run all those tests I just mentioned. If you pass them with flying colors, make your energetic decision, create your energetic boundaries, and get to work. Thank you so much for watching. Take very good care of yourselves, and you will see me in the next video. Bye.